Howdy everyone, it's me once again, the one and only Killer Rodan. And today, as you can see, I'm still continuing my Disney movie marathon where I'll be talking about the movies, obviously the TV shows, merchandising, I don't know. If it's related to Disney in any shape or form, then yes, of course I'll be talking about it. So I just figured I'll just do one of these war themed type of discussion type videos because you can't even go to Disney Plus right now if you wanted to and just look up titles like this. So I'm just wondering, should Disney continue to make war-themed stories and whatnot? Should they? Well, you do have to consider the fact. I mean, come on, even Donald Duck himself. Yep, Donald Duck. He was in a bunch of war-themed stories anyway, so that's something. He's definitely a well-known character when it comes to the Disney stuff. Oh yes, not only that, they definitely made quite a few of these Star Wars movies. It's literally in the name, Wars, along with a bunch of TV shows as well. So there's that. Quite obviously, and yes, let's not forget about the fact that there's been quite a few of the animated stuff, as you can guess yourself. And that's definitely was a product of its time, and you can tell it definitely was. And yes, this might be a maybe a hot topic nowadays because a lot of these older stuff isn't really looked highly upon, which I find kind of weird because I really don't think. I know it just seems kind of weird people look at these old stuff differently because they're looking through a modern lens when you think about it. So yeah, something like this may not be in the same way if it was made today. So a lot of this stuff may be really different if compared to back then if they were made now. Yes, that could be problematic in its own way when you think about it. Yes, I'm not trying to attack the man for making these type of stuff. Yes, he was definitely from the silent generation, of course. And that's the thing, though. That's something that people don't seem to understand. Yes, of course, he's known for making the princess movies, and these movies were made way back when he was around, when he started the company, and that's definitely something to think about. I mean, give me a break. Even in this day and age, these types of movies are still being made and still making a lot of money. So I guess that counts for something, I guess. I mean, if everything broke. Oh yes, the Disney princess stuff definitely had gathered some controversy over the years, which I thought was kind of odd, come to think about it, but whatever. Anyway, come to think about it, when the Vietnam War thing had occurred, well, at least when the United States soldiers, the army, had gotten involved, to be more precise here, because the whole Vietnam thing has been going on way beforehand. It was just after the fact that when the Americans had became involved in that, I know there was like plenty of this anti-war kind of thing going on as well. So yes, obviously when it comes to of the things that happen over the years, yes, of course, attitudes would change. Yes, things would change, including the culture, the taste of music, and yes, politics themselves are no different from this. So this kind of thing couldn't even have a lasting effect in this day and age as well. You'll be reflecting in music, of course, anti-war music and whatnot, or even movies, of course. So yeah, so Disney really continue making these types of movies, these war themed stuff, even in this day and age. And how would you approach it if you did? The people who work on these movies, how would they approach this kind of a thing? They want to continue making them, and that can be a tough question because I guess to be more specific, this kind of thing might be usually be about drama, and that's at least some of the movies I've came across when it comes to this genre of film. They usually tend to be drama or action oriented. So I guess you could go in either way, really. Or maybe have a mix of both. You maybe can have action and drama instead of just separating the two, like some movies have done. Maybe combine the two. I guess. I mean, yes, there's a crowd for these types of movies. Obviously, there is a crowd for these types of films, I suppose. So I don't know. I guess just to each their own, I suppose. If this kind of thing is what you like, then you're gonna watch it. And for those who are not really are isn't really interested in this, if this something isn't your cup of tea, just don't watch it in that case. I mean, yes, that's a hot take when you think about it because I know a lot of people are very against war. A lot of ways they don't like the concept of people fighting each other. These nations just sending troops to kill each other off and whatnot. And yes, I know that this is a polarizing really thinking about it because I know there's a lot of people that are very, very pro war, while others are very against it, of course. Yes, I've heard both sides of the argument before. I've heard both sides when it comes to these types of arguments, and yes, it can get really heated up over the years. And it still gets pretty heated up even to this very day. So I've heard both sides, the pro-war and the anti-war kind of a thing, folks. And I mean, you could make a good story out of this, I guess, if you can find a good writer, a decent writer. And and yes, of course, there are other things you can talk about, like Vietnam, like since I brought that up, or even World War II. You can do plenty of World War II stories if you want. Yeah, there's plenty of World War II stuff you could talk about, and make that into an animation kind of a thing. I mean, it's really up to the people at Disney, of course. It's really up to them, really, and have a good story, of course. Anyway, I just want to do something fairly short. So anyway, thanks for watching. See ya. Oh yeah.